Hey guys, this is Naveen here. Welcome back to Naveen Automation Labs. So guys, it's not about Cucumber today. It's about one very important scenario, that is how to handle dropdown with a generic function that we have to write. We know that, okay, we have a select class, and then with the help of select class, we could use select by visible text, select by index, and select by value also we can do that. I'm talking about only dropdowns having the select class HTML tag. So today someone was asking the question in the Telegram group that how can we create a simple one generic method which will handle all these three conditions instead of creating three generic functions over there. So first I'll show you how to create three generic functions, and then I'll show you we will convert all those three functions into a single function, how to do that. Very important, and I think it's really good interview question as well. So first of all, this is the application where you can see that we have two drop downs are available. This is the industry drop down. This is the country drop down. You can see it. And if you really want to inspect this guy, you can see that these drop downs are having select tag over here and having multiple options like that. So this is a select tag. So of course I could use my select HTML select class in Selenium. I can do that. So what I'm going to do that first, I'm going to create two bilocators for this guy. So these two bilocators are already with me. So I'm just going to copy paste these locators. You can see that having some ID is equal to this for country drop down. Same thing, you can check it for the industry drop down. ID is available over here like that. So I've created two bilocators. Let me import these bilocators. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a select class object is equal to a new select, and then I'm going to simple create a web element over here. So I'm simple creating, let's say, driver.find element. Let's see, for country I have created a web element, and then let's say I'm giving select one over here, and then you have to import select class from Selenium, and then I'm using select one dot, let's see, any method I'm using, let's see, select by visible text, which value that you want to select. So I simple writing India over here. Fine, and if you run it, India will be selected. So let's quickly run it and let's see what happens. So let me just click on proceed, and you will see that browser is getting launched and India will be selected from the country over here. You can see that, right? But what if tomorrow you have 10 drop downs? Are you going to create 10 times select class? Because let's say we have country drop down, I have to create this particular country, this particular select class once again. Let's say select two object I have to create, and then this time we have to pass, let's see, for industry I want to select a different industry. Let's see, from the industry I can select something, let's see, education. So then I'm passing education over here. Let's see, this is the industry drop down. So from the select two I have to select education. From the country drop down I have to select India over here. So what if tomorrow you have 10 drop downs? Are you going to create 10 times select class object? No. So this is the worst way of writing the code. So but it will work if you run it. Let's quickly run it and let's see what happens. You see that browser is getting launched and it will select education as over here in an industry drop down, and India from the country drop down. But this is not the right way of doing it. So what I'm going to do, that I'm going to create a couple of generic functions over here to handle this particular scenario. So first, let's see, first of all, I need a web element. So I quickly create public void a get element method. Let's say I'm making them static so that I can call them directly, no need to create the object. And this static web driver I have already defined over here, guys. We are not creating any page object model, or right now we are not doing any parallel execution. Just to avoid the object of this particular class, I'm making it static so that we can call them directly and we can access this particular driver over here as well quickly. So let's see, this is the get element method, and I'm passing a by locator over here. Now this method says that, okay, fine, we will return driver.find element. What if the locator that you are using it? So we will return the find element. So instead of void, I'll be writing web element over here. So this is a method, and then we have to import web element from Selenium. So this is the method which will return, it will give you a web element. And then I'm going to create a method over here that is, let's see, for the visible text, I'm simply create a method that is public static void. I simply say that, okay, do select by a visible text over here. And this guy says that, okay, you give me the by locator. So whatever the by locator, let's see, I simply write by locator, comma, which value that you want to select. Fine. And here I'm going to create the select class object. Select is equal to a new select, and then I have to get the element first. So I'll be calling this particular method over here, because select class constructor says you give me the web element. You can see that. That's why we are passing the web element over here. We are creating the web element over here. Same thing, I can call this particular get element method passing the same by locator over here. So this is fine. And by using this particular select reference that we have created, select dot select by visible text I'll be using, and which value, whatever the value that you are passing, I'll be selecting that particular value. Simple. Now you don't need to write these lines again and again. No need to create multiple objects. You just need to call this particular method. Let's see this method, which locator, country locator, which value that you want to select. I want to select India from here. Same thing. Let's see. I'll be passing the second guy is that which locator. I'll be passing industry locator, and which industry you want to select. Let's say I'm passing education. So you can call these methods by passing the respective by locator and respective values. And then this method at the runtime will create the get element, will get the web element from this particular method, and then select the value on the basis of that by using select by visible text. So I have created a wrapper function over here, and I'm using this particular generic function to select the values. So let's run it and let's see it is working or not. Okay. So yeah, browser is getting launched, and you can see that education and India perfectly working fine. So advantage with this function is that I'm just going to create only one function and can be called multiple times. No need to create, no need to write the select class objects again and again. Although we are calling this particular function two times, right? Whenever it's required, I can call them, and then I'm just writing only once select equal to a new select over here. If you're calling two times select class object will be created, but no need to write the duplicate code or repeated code again and again. So you can maintain the script properly. Same thing, we have another method also. So I quickly write other two methods as well, that select by index and select by value also you have that. So those methods I have already created. So let me just copy paste these two methods over here. So this guy says that, okay, select by index and select by value. Doing the same thing, you give me the by locator, pass the index, that is integer, and I'll be using select by index and pass the same index over here. Third method I have written select by value also. So you can select the respective value. It means whatever the option values are available. See guys, if you are passing value equal to arrow space, the respective value will be selected from the drop down, right? Select by value, that we have to pass it over here. So these are the three generic methods I have written, but this is the perfect solution. Fine, I would always recommend it. Okay, fine, we can create these three generic functions. But the interview question, the person was asking that, can we convert all these three functions into a single function? It means one single function will should handle select by visible text, select by index, and select by value. Can we do that? Of course we can do that, right? So what I'm going to do that, I don't need to call this particular function now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a method over here. Let's see, my method name is simple. I'm going to select public void select drop down value. And here this guy says that, okay, fine, you give me the bilocator. When you give me the bilocator and you give me what type of method you want to use, select by value, select by visible text, or select by index. So we'll say that, okay, we will pass the value and then which value that you want to select. So I'll be saying this is the value, India or education, whatever the value that you want to select, I'll be passing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the select class object over here. So let me create select is equal to new select over here. And this guy will be calling get element method. So let me call get element, pass the same by locator so that we can create the object of select class. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to maintain one switch case statement over here. I can handle multiple keys over here. What will be the key? The key is a type, whatever the type that you are passing, and multiple cases I can handle. My first case, if I say that, okay, hey, you have to give me the index. If the case is equal to index, then what I'm going to do, I simply write select dot select by index, which index, whatever the value that you are passing, guys. Now see, this value will be coming in the form of index, and this guy says that, okay, you give me the integer index, right? It's coming in the form of string only, and we have to use an integer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert that particular a string into integer by using integer.parseInt method. So I'll be using integer.parseInt. What if the value that you are passing, convert that, and then let's say I'm passing 5 over here with double quotes, because I have to pass a string over here, and the double quotes will be removed, will be converted into an integer by using parseInt method, and I'll be using the same value over here. And likewise, I can create another case. The second case I'll be writing, what if you are passing the value. So in that case, I'll be using select by value over here. So I simple write select by value, and the same value I want to select. In that case, I don't need to convert. Why? Because this is what I'm expecting from that particular value. So select by value, I'll be using it, right? The same value I'll be passing over here, because select by value saying you give me the string value and then simple select the value. Case number 3, I'll be using, what if we are passing a visible text over here. So I'll be passing, let's see, a visible text, and in that case I'll simple write select by visible text. And what if the text that you are passing in the form of value string, you just select that particular value and then good to go. And then I'll come inside the default part and I print a message over here. Let's see, if you're passing, someone is passing the wrong case, I simple say that a nice message over here that please pass the correct selection criteria, something like this. I just, okay, I'm passing over here, and then simple break the loop, break the case every time. Fine. Now I simple call this guy select drop down value. By locators we have already created, and which by locator, let's say I go to select country and the value is what. I simple see this select drop down value. We have to, I'll do one thing once again. Yeah, this method we have to call select drop down value, and this guy says that give me the type, which type that you want to select. So I simple say that okay, this time I'm passing by index, comma, which index you want to select. So I simple pass, let's see, 5 over here, right guys? So here you see that this is the bilocator. Here I'm passing the index and the string value 5 over here, and let's make it static so that you can call it directly. So I can call it directly, no need to call the, no need to create the object. Okay, so I simple call this particular method passing the country drop down, and I'm using index and then 5 over here. 5 will be given to this guy. It will check what is the type you are passing. I'm passing select by index over here. This case will be satisfied, and to select the index, convert that value into an integer and then select the value like that. So let's see the 5th index is getting selected or not. So let's run it and let's see. Okay, so you can see that the 5th value got selected over here, right? So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5th value Andorra got selected. Perfect. Now let's see some other. I simple using select drop down value. This time I'm using, let's see, industry over here. On the basis of what? On the basis of visible text I'll be using. So I simple pass the same case over here on the basis of visible text and which value that you want to select. So from the industry, let's say I want to select education, and then let's see it is selecting or not. Okay, so browser is getting launched. So you can see that it's selecting industry as education and country as Andorra, right? Now let's do one more time. I'll be using select drop down value. I'm passing country once again, and I simply say that use value option. Whatever this particular value, it means select by value and which value that you want to select. So let's see, from the country, I want to select India over here, right? And let's see, finally it is selecting India or not. So I'm just creating only one single method, one single function, which is handling all these 3 cases. Either you passing index, visible value, and visible text, or the value. Now you can see that education and India got selected over here. This is what the interview question, and this is what the expectation people were expecting, to convert these 3 functions into a single function over here. You can use this also, or you can create 3 different functions like that as well. You can do that. Now, one thing you can improve in this particular code, that if you see that, okay, yeah, this is a kind of hard-coded value, and let's see tomorrow, Selenium guys, they have added some more types to select the values. What you can do, you can maintain one either interface the static variables, or you can maintain some enum also over here. So let me do one thing. Let me create one enum. I'll go to the same package. I'm going to create an, let's see, sorry, not like this. Right click on it, new, go to class, and I'm going to create, let's see, drop down and click on finish over here, right? And instead of this, what I'm going to do that I'm going to create, instead of class, I'm maintaining one enum over here, enum dropdown. And here I can do one thing, that I can maintain some values like this. So let's see, index is my value, and then I'm going to override my toString method from the object class. I simply write public string toString and then return what. So if I'm accessing index, it should return index over here, like that. Okay, so this is one of the way you can maintain enum. You can use constant variables also. So let's see, this is for index, this is for, I will be writing, let's see, for value, and this is, if the value is there, then you have to return value. So I simply write, let's see, a value. And if someone is saying that visible text, so I'll be passing a visible text as well. So let me put first of all a comma over here, and return value, and one second here. So I simple writing, let's see, first let me write it, and then we will fix up error over here, visible text. And yeah, okay, this is for the value. And after this we have to, okay, close this particular index with a comma, and close this particular value with a comma, like that. Now it is fixed. Perfect. So these are the three enum values that I have maintained. Whenever I'm calling dropdown.index, it should return index over here, right? So let's see, I can remove this hard-coded value, and I can simply do one thing, that is, this is what exactly we do it in real-time projects. A dropdown dot, see, you can see that index value and visible text. So let's say I want to select index, but index will return what? It's a type of dropdown only. So what I have to do, I have to use a toString again to convert into a string, because here we are expecting what? We are expecting one string type. Okay, so we can do it like this. Same thing for visible text. I can simply write, that is a dropdown dot visible text dot toString. I can do that. And same thing for value. I can use dropdown dot value dot toString. I can simply do that. So here it's looking more elegant, and you simply go to index, it will return the index. Tomorrow if you have more options like index, value, and this is for visible text actually, so I have to write visible text over here. Okay, and let's see it is working or not. Okay, so let's see, first of all, right click on it, run as a Java application. Browser is getting launched. Awesome. It's selecting education and India. If you really want to try one more app, let's see, I want to select something else. I simply call this particular method select dropdown value for, let's see, I want to select again for industry and which type. So I simply say that dropdown visible text for the industry we have already selected. So let's see, this time I'm using dropdown by value, and which value that you want to select. So if you go to this particular application and you open this particular industry dropdown, and here this is the value, this is before the visible text and this is for the value. So let's see, I want to select this time, let's see, health. Okay, it should select healthcare from the dropdown if I'm passing value as health over here. So I simply pass health, and let's see it is selecting or not. So value dot toString, and run it again. So if you don't want to maintain enum, guys, you can maintain some interface, the static variables also, and using uh, uh, interface name dot variable name also you can do that. So can you see that it's selecting healthcare over here? So it's absolutely working fine. Like this, you can maintain one single function or multiple functions. Now, the good thing is that all these functions are absolutely working fine, and you can use for any application, any web-based application where the HTML tag is select for the dropdown. Remember guys, because we are using the select class concept over here, it will work only and only for select class. Select class means if the HTML tag is select over here, then only it will work. It won't work for bootstrap dropdowns or maybe jQuery dropdown. Accordingly, you have to create a function for that. Okay, but this is only applicable for a dropdown having the select HTML tag. So that's all for this particular video, guys. I really wanted to cover this thing. So don't worry, our Cucumber videos will be there and we will continue with the Cucumber series. But someone was asking the question, and instead of giving the question in the mail, I thought of creating a video so that it can be helpful for all of you guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs. Please subscribe to the channel to watch something interesting or something new in the automation, just like that. And if you have any interview question with respect to any scenario, feel free to tell me in the comment section. I'll try to prepare a video on that. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for watching Naveen Automation Labs.